Hello and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to take a look at the cheapest team that you can build for the Great League. Some people asked for that after I already made a video about a general cheap team. Here now we're going to have a team with 3 updated Pokemon. All of them have some kind of buff or like new move here. For example, Whimsicott with the Seed Bomb here right now, which might be a better move, might be a worse move than Grass Knot. We don't really know yet. It really depends on the matchup. It's not clear. But we're going to have the Whiscash here as well. I played one set with the move Mudshot and one set with the move Water Gun in the lead there. Reason for Water Gun was the main weakness against the Noctowl. Like your Clefable can deal with the Noctowl, but your Whiscash definitely doesn't really have the best matchup there. But Clefable still honestly the best Pokemon on this team. Look at this. Here we're going to see the Ninetales coming in, and we're going to see the Ninetales going out again. After this Meteor Mash, going to be double super effective, knocking them out and also knocking out the opponent here immediately. So we're going to have 2 different kind of Whiscash, which you can take a look at. This is going to be an amazing lead for us. You're going to see also the Medicham coming in here, which doesn't really have anything to do against me. They can go ahead, go for the Ice Punch. They don't do enough damage here to really threaten me, as I can go ahead and go for one Moonblast here, as we're now back at 100 energy as well. They decide to shield. That's fine for me. I can just go ahead and shield this move up as well now. There's no way that they're going to be able to win this matchup here. I could have even let this move go through and then went all in for my Whimsicott, because it also would beat the Lantern pretty easily. But like this, my opponent just decides to go ahead and rather waste another shield, so I can go ahead and go for a Meteor Mash to knock them out here. And now align the Lantern against my Clefable. They still have to throw, which they're going to do here as well, which is going to be fine for us. But we're going to have now both our Whiscash here, as well as our Whimsicott in the back, and we see the Mandibuzz coming in, which is an easy matchup here for us. This team actually worked out pretty well for me. Definitely a very good starter team. If you want to start into Go Battle League, this is one that you can run pretty easily. All 3 Pokemon are 10k charge move unlock for all of them. Like, all of them are the cheapest one possible. Whimsicott needs 10k, the Clefable needs 10k, as well as our lead here of the Whiscash need only 10k for the secondary charge move, which makes this team so cheap. That's why I made this one. None of them need any legacy moves. All of them have moves that they like just learn on the normal way, and all of them got buffed this season as well, which is going to be very nice. Warring can be a little bit tricky for this team, not gonna lie here. Usually you run the Say-Swap of the Whimsicott here, by the way, for this team. But in this specific game here, I'm gonna go ahead, go for another Mud Bomb here, and swap now into my Clefable to catch a move. Let's see what it's going to be. It's going to be the Earthquake, which is going to be interesting, as we now will be able to go ahead and still go for the Meteor Mash, but not before they can get to another charge move. I'm going to shield this move up because they're staying in here. Kinda tells me that they're most likely weak against Clefable in the back here. So we can go ahead, go for another charge move, going to force the next shield from the opponent here, which is going to be nice. I'm going to shield this move up. I can farm them down here, and they're going to swap out now into their Medicham, allowing me to go for a Moonblast. At this point of time, the switch clock should be up again, and what we can do here right now is we can over farm with our Whimsicott. They're always going to get to one charge move here right now, but I can go ahead and get some extra energy against the opponent here as well. Let's see, we're going to go up for at least like 2 over the Moonblast, which will allow us to get to this Moonblast here right now. Boom, bye bye Medicham, and comes now the Sableye, which is honestly right now the most common backline that I've seen. Medicham plus the Sableye is so common, and here we're going to be able to knock them out, and our Clefable going to be able to do the rest, knock out the opponent, and we can go ahead and go into the next game. Next opponent, we're going to see here a Molgali. This is going to be a little bit tricky, but we can swap out into the Whimsicott, and they decide to go ahead and swap out here as well into a Registeel. Horrible scenario for us. We can go ahead and go for one Seed Bomb, which we shouldn't have really done. I want to try to bait the opponent to use a shield there, but yeah, now we're going to have to go for the Moonblast. Moonblast is going to do actually some pretty decent damage, and the thing with the Whimsicott right now is that Zap Cannon is going to be resisted. If Whimsicott would be a little bit bulkier, this Pokemon would be so nice in the main meta right now as well. But also like Shinotic, I think, has the same typing. If this gets like a better fast move, it would be like so strong. Like this, our Whimsicott gonna go down here against the Registeel, but still going to be okay because now we can get the Whiscash in. And while Emolga going to be an issue for our team, Whiscash going to be able to now farm down the opponent here to get to basically 100 energy. Go for one Mud Bomb here right now to try to bait the opponent to use a shield here. I have to use the shield here for sure because it can be acrobatics, and it will be acrobatics. But now we will be able to get both shields from the opponent most likely if they're going to shield this move up, and they do shield this move up, allowing me to go for a Blizzard here right away. This will be very decent for us here right now. as we can now go ahead and go into the Clefable. The opponent is definitely in range for one Moonblast. Moonblast should do easily enough damage against Amolga. Amolga is not very bulky, and we will be able to now go ahead, go for that move, knock them out here, and let's see what they're going to have in the bag. It's going to be, of course, as always in the current meta, the Medicham in the bag, and of course, as we're going to run to a Fairy-type Pokemon, it is just a very decent one for us. We're going to be able to not knock them out there, but one more fast move will seal the deal here as they go for the Ice Punch, and we will be able to win this game. So yeah, next opponent, let's take a look at this one. It should be the final one with Mudshot as a fast move. I have 5 games each in there. Let's see, we're going to see exactly Mudshot again. We're going to see a Sableye coming in. I think I misplayed this game here pretty hard. I should have most likely, I don't know, maybe I should have baited here. They're going to go ahead and go for their charge move now. That was kind of clear that they're going to shield this move up because I can just go for the return here. So I'm forced to shield this move up and I can go ahead and go for another Moonblast. I thought this is just a foul play, but I cannot count and it's actually a return already, which makes this matchup so bad for me. Like if I did actually realign my Pokemon here correctly, as you're going to see later on as well, I would have an easy time to win this game, but as you're going to see right now, the opponent has a Medicham in the back. We would have completely hardwalled them because they have, again, the same back line with the Sableye as well as the Medicham in the back. But because I didn't do it right there, I'm going to now most likely lose this game because I just didn't play the game correctly there. And I got basically baited by the opponent twice there with first the bait that I'm going to shield up the foul play, and then they went just straight for the return. So it's just not really ideal how this went here, but I'm pretty sure I would have been able to actually still had a chance here if I played it better, but I didn't play it better, so my own fault. Not going to blame anything else other than myself for not playing this game right. But it is fine. As you're going to see now, the Clefable coming in, we can go ahead and still go for a Media Mash. Clefable is pretty bulky, but not bulky enough to survive 2 charge moves here or anything like this. They can still survive like 1 drill run here for sure. Drill run does around 45%, as you can see here. But I don't get to another charge move here, and the opponent still has 1 stored. So good game to my opponent. While they got kind of hardballed there by me, they still flipped switch with their Sableye. That's why Sableye is so like amazing right now, honestly. Like it's so strong. But yeah, here we're going to have now Water Gun. Water Gun, let's take a look what we can do with this one. And first game here, I recognized something already, and I did a huge mistake here again. I should have went into my Whimsicott, because Whimsicott would have been able to resist those liquidations, and it's like the hardest hitting move from the opponent. And as they got the debuff here as well against our Clefable, I'm basically forced to go for the shield here, go for my charge move, and hope that they're going to let this move go through, because if they don't let this move go through, I'm going to be screwed, because I know already what they're going to have in the bag. It's going to be the Araquanid, because it's the team that I showcased already. So, as you're going to see here right now, I'm going to forfeit because I know already that this game is over at this point of time. But again, I misplayed this. If I just went ahead and went into my Whimsicott, I had definitely a better chance of winning this game there, because I resist the hardest hitting move from this opponent, and even the Exeter would have been, of course, neutral against me. So, like, it would have been an easier match plan there for me to do it like that, but because this was not the case, I would have been completely hardwalled otherwise, because they either have the Pelipper or the Araquanid in the back, and it was most likely the Araquanid. But yeah, we're going to see here now the opponent having the Deoxys defense against us. We can take 1 Psycho Boost, and we will be able to reach a Seed Bomb eventually. But honestly, this doesn't still knock me out, because they are 4 times debuffed. I will be able to go for another Seed Bomb here. The Seed Bomb will be able to knock out the opponent, and we now can realign our Pokemon. And while we forfeit the last game, the opponent going to forfeit this game, because they were not prepared for all those fairy types. I think it was like triple counter team or something. Didn't work out for them. Water Gun Wishcast is now coming in clutch here a little bit against the opponent's Pokemon here, but we're going to be able to catch a Mud Bomb now onto our Whimsicott as the Say Swap here. As you now see, the Frost is coming in, which is not really ideal for us. We can go ahead and go for 1 Seed Bomb, going to do some damage at least against the opponent, but they're forced to throw a charge move here. Great CMP type throw by the opponent. The Frostus right now is also a very decent Pokemon to use, by the way. I would expect that we see this more often as well in like regionals and stuff like this again, because of all the Medichams right now. Like, honestly, at regionals right now, I think from the top 6 teams from the last 3 regionals or something, everybody had like Medicham, which was really annoying. So like, we're going to see this Pokemon quite a lot, so Ghost type's going to definitely increase in value. But here we're going to see now again our friend the Quagsire, which we will be able to hit with 1 Mud Bomb. They're going to shield this move up, and in this point of time, it's kind of game over for us already, because this Quagsire, I just don't really have a way anymore to knock them out here. And at this point of time, again, I would say that the Water Gun on my Wishcast there really hurt me. Like, I would have really recommended you here to go for Mud Bomb instead. My main idea, of course, with the Noctowl that I kind of wanted to try to farm down with this Pokemon didn't work out at all for me. So definitely Mud Bomb, like Mud Shot in general, is the better move to go for with the Wish Kiss. While of course a Water Gun is a fun move to use and it's not a bad fast move to use either. Definitely the higher energy generation goes over the higher damage output in this case. We're seeing the Medicham staying in here for whatever reason, so they seem to be a little bit weak against Fairy type Pokemon in the back. They go for the Ice Punch and they're going to swap out now into the Dugong. This is going to be okay for us, but again, if we had Mud Shot, it would have been way better for us, but we're going to still have here the Water Gun as a fast move. So while we will be able to go for 2 Seed Bombs here, and they're going to let the second move go through as well and do some pretty decent damage here, we are kind of in a tough spot to still do anything in this matchup. So we're going to let this move go through against our Wish Kiss. It's going to be the Icy Wind, and we will see what we can do here right now. We're going to let this next move go through as well, and as you see here already, I click on the right side the entire time, swapping out immediately into my Clefable, trying to outspeed them to the next charge move, which works out pretty well here, as the Meteor Mesh going to hit them, and going to knock them out as well, so we're not even gonna get debuffed here. In comes the Wish Kiss of the opponent, which is okay for us. We will be able to just go ahead and go for another charge move here. There's no way in hell that they're going to go ahead and go for the Blizzard here, so I'm going to let the first move go through here as well. And it's going to be just a Mud Bomb, but of course they can just go ahead and spam those moves now the entire time. So it's going to be a little bit tricky to still win this game here. Let's see, we can still go for 1 Meteor Mesh here, hopefully knocking them out with that one. And we are knocking them out with my Wish Kiss there. In comes now the Medicham, and it's going to be a tough match to still win. I'm going to go for the Blizzard here because I don't expect them to shield this move up at all, because it doesn't really make too much sense. And they're going to shield this move up, and like this, my Clefable will not be able to get to another charge move here. And my opponent just played better than me. Again, my opponent just made a great call there by shielding up the Blizzard. I didn't really expect that they would do that. I thought they would be more scared of all the Mud Bombs. But great play by them, and good game to them. Definitely well played. Again, here, if we had the Mud Shot, we would have been better off against the opponent's Quillfish, but we have to stay in here because it's our best answer for poison types. So, again, I definitely go for the Mud Shot instead, but we still might have a chance here, while we're still going to have a very neutral matchup here now in the lead instead of a positive matchup for us because of the Water Gun. We're going to still try to play this game out here, as Quillfish is a very squishy Pokemon. As you see already with the damage that we did with the Water Gun here against them, we will be able to go ahead and go have a pretty decent matchup laid on against them. But we see now the Noctowl coming in. At least we do some damage with our Water Gun if we wanted to. But in comes now the Sky Attack, and in comes also now the Moonblast. And I should have thrown that Moonblast earlier, because as you're going to see here right now, this Moonblast is going to get the attack drop against the opponent, which is really important for me. As you now see the Sky Attack coming through, I try to reach a Moonblast, but I can only get 2 or 1 Meteor Mesh here. And this Meteor Mesh is going to do some pretty decent damage, but not enough really. And I'm forced to go ahead and go into my Wish Kiss right now, but at least here Water Gun is finally coming in clutch, going to do some decent damage. We still have to go for 1 Mud Bomb here in order to knock them out, but at least we're going to be able to do enough damage to knock them out with our Wish Kiss here. As you see the Quillfish coming in, Wish Kiss is going to town here right now as well, going to knock them out as well, and we're going to see at the back the opponent's Lantern. At this point of time, this game is over, as Whimsicott going to be able to sweep endgame. And that's going to be it for this video. This is the cheapest possible team for the Great League, to be fair. Like, there are no XL Pokemon in there, they are all 10k, and they're all buffed this season, so very fun team to use. Definitely try to use Mud Shot instead of the Water Gun on the Wish Kiss. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you enjoyed those cheaper teams, please leave a like on the video and subscribe if you haven't already. See you in the next one, and you see 2 videos right now on the screen. Click them if you're interested, and I see you then. Bye bye.